What's good, everybody? It's your boy Santi back with another video. Man, as I'm recording this video, man, I'm tired as shit. I think I went to bed late last night. I went to bed probably, it was like almost 5 o'clock. It's approaching 4 o'clock, I want to say. But what's got me recording this video today, I was listening to some Tory Lanez, because I'm always dissect things and I'll have a perspective on it, but I probably want to speak on it, but I'll get to the underlying issue, the underlying problem with it. But as most of my videos have been over the last couple months and the start of last year, they've been based around like semen retention, but just looking at the conflicts between the masculine and the feminine. When we look at semen retention puts an end to that because it creates boundaries and structures, you feel me? And with boundaries, with a man setting boundaries, you want to allow certain behaviors to continue, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to interacting with women. And when I was listening to the song, there's one song in particular that's probably my favorite on the album, and it's called Things I Should Have Said. And in the beginning of it, he's like, one of the things he says is like, this may not be exactly what he said, but he said something that's like so easy to, it's so easy. It's so easy to, live life the way you want to, And of course he's talking about, if you listen to it, you would think he's talking about a woman, you know what I'm saying? Now, who that specific woman is up for, that can be up for debate, but with everything that's going on, you can probably guess who one of the ideas would be. But one thing that is a problem between like masculine and feminine is like when you look at relationships and guys that want so much control over their woman. You know what I'm saying? And you want her to do this and this and this and that. You spend all your time and energy trying to get her to act a certain way or to think a certain way or to stop participating in certain activities or stop associating with certain people, which you shouldn't. Damn, I got a scar on my face, man. That's from that fucking mosquito bite. Damn. But it'll heal up. But you're spending all your time trying to enact a certain or gain a sense of like control because you don't have any. Like if you have to spend all your time trying to get a girl to change her behavior and change her ways, then that's somebody that you shouldn't be with. Because obviously she has a certain frame of mind that she doesn't want to let go of in order to become a different person. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe become a better person. But, when I sit here and I think about it, it's like, instead of a guy choosing to walk away, his emotions and his feelings and his attachment to this particular woman keeps him from himself and ends up putting him in a compromising position. And he's going through the same situation over and over again. And because he doesn't have boundaries and because he's not grounded in who he is, he's giving a woman all of this value. You know what I'm saying? He's put the woman above his own self instead of listening to yourself and having a deep enough relationship to the point where it's just like, you know what? It's best that I let her go. You know what I'm saying? And that I step away. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys don't do that. A lot of guys find themselves in a stressful situation that can end up destroying, their lives in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I know, and one of the reasons why I don't be like, I don't spend my time telling women they need to do this and they need to do that and they need to do this, is because they got to learn the hard way, because a lot of them are being carried by their emotions, and they're easily influenced, and they don't have a strong sense of self. So a lot of women think, and when you think about feminism, that's women really embodying masculine traits to try to gain some sense of self-determination. You know what I'm saying? And so with a lot of girls now, with a lot of women now, is that they'll embody that mentality, but it gives it really is a false sense of self, because in the long run, they end up not being able to keep a man or attract a high quality man, because they have all of these unnatural boundaries. And when I say unnatural, is that it goes against the nature of things. Like feminism cannot bring feminism in its dogma, you know what I'm saying, and its fixed way of thinking cannot unify masculine and feminine energy. It cannot end conflict unless you're talking about from the standpoint of the underlying aspect or the underlying issue. Is that there are men who have developed systems and institutions that seek to control and dominate women to a certain degree. You feel me? There's certain things that women can do that men can't do. There's certain things that men can do that women can't do. You know what I'm saying? I think I said women can do it that men can't do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but the women are embodying masculine traits in order to express themselves, right? So they have this mentality that they can do whatever they want to do beyond a man's approval. You know what I'm saying? Beyond a man's validation, right? So, and there's a lesson that has to be learned from that, because throughout that, there's a lack of respect for their own femininity, right? And then they end up putting themselves in a very, very problematic position in the long run, to the point where it affects their self-image in the long term, right? Because they've been engaging in this behavior, trying to embody a sense of sexual freedom. You know what I'm saying? But it's coming from the wrong mindset, because I remember telling a female, and it ended up happening to her, like, you over here having sex with random guys to get back at the dude that you was having a situation with. And I was like, look, I said, you end up having sex with one of his best friends, and now he's going back and his best friend's going back and telling him about it. And I'm like, and they're going to be telling other guys. I said, you better watch it. Next thing you know, I said, you better watch it, because it's going to put out a certain image of you, and guys are going to think that, and they're going to start trying you. Within the next day, what happened? She had guys that she didn't know hit her up, talking about, hey, I heard you did this and you did this, and they was giving so-and-so names and stuff, but you already know who was talking about it. And I was like, look, I told you. I said, once you get that reputation and it becomes fixed in people's mind, there's nothing that you can do to change it. Especially when it's based off of things that you actually did. You was actually out here, quote unquote, being promiscuous, having sex with guys. They're talking about it and telling the next guy what you did, and now them guys thinking that they can go and get it too. And that's one of the things. That's why for women, this whole quote unquote sexual freedom stuff really ain't all that it's cracked up to be. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at Cardi B and maybe Megan Thee Stallion, they're gonna find themselves in situations where a man don't want to marry them when they know that that's really what they want in the long run. They know that that's what they really want. But they're embodying all these masculine traits and doing the same thing that male rappers do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, and I don't agree with everything that all these male rappers do. I don't really idolize them. I'm always looking at them with a discerning eye. You know what I'm saying? But, when it comes to us trying to put these women in our place, it's like, the only way that you'll ever put a woman in her place is by having power over yourself. That's the only way. You showing a consistency and a persistence in certain situations where there's something about you that stays the same. It maintains its congruency. You know what I'm saying? And so with semen retention, as you continue to abstain and keep that energy in you, that part of yourself that may have been diminished by interacting with women Like by it may have been diminished from negative experiences with women. You know what I'm saying, like bad breakups, um, and the act of engaging in upset of compulsive masturbation. You know what I'm saying? Because that diminishes your spirit, like it weakens you. You know what I'm saying? And so, you develop that integrity, and you're more, like I said in the previous videos, you're more upright, you're more vertical. You know, and so that's really what I want to talk about in the video. Like a lot of those women, they have it in their mind that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. They can act just like men. You know what I'm saying? And that ends up backfiring in them on the long run. Because it's just like, well, and a lot of them are using the same approaches that men do when it comes to women. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you know, that's why semen retention is a very powerful thing, because then when you recognize those things that are triggers and that weaken you, you will do things to protect yourself. So then you won't allow certain things to be in your line of sight. You won't allow certain things to be in your space. And you know that you have to take heat and you have to block it out. And then it gets to a certain point where it's just like, you have to take action. Now it's like, we're not going to wait on it. You have to be more assertive in those situations and circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to help you out in the long run. So yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. I was almost at 10 minutes, but that's all I wanted to say in this video, man. Go back and watch me and watch my previous videos. But yeah, don't ever try to control a woman. Just respect yourself and stand your ground, and don't allow her to disrespect you and think that she can do whatever she wants. Because if she thinks that she can speak to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, then you could just send her on her way. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler back at you guys. Y'all tu sabes. Love. Salud.